Hello and welcome to Galactic Wisdom. As you can see, I'm back in my car. I do a lot of traveling, a lot of touring this evening. If anybody's in the area of Culver City, then I'm hosting a contact event in Culver City. You're invited. It's a free event. Just join me at 11 o'clock at the trailhead for the Culver City Stairs, or Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook. And we're going to do a kind of a friendship circle there. We're going to do a little hike up to the top of the hill, and we are going to do a contact meditation up there, and hopefully um, bring in some alien craft above Culver City. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's why I'm here in my car. Now, excuse me. The world is kind of in a troubled way at the moment. It fluctuates. People get along with their everyday lives and they start to feel like everything's stable and okay. But then something happens, like some violence, another war, more attacks, more killing, more hate. And it throws the feeling of security and peace that a lot of people would like into kind of chaos, into ruins. And it's, I'm going to address this a little bit now, and I'm going to try and do it in a way that is in line with the title of this show, which is Galactic Wisdom. Let's sort of take a step out, a step away from political parties and countries, to sort of a more galactic way of looking at morality. There are higher, more wise, and better affiliations that you can have than with political parties. There are more peaceful places than one's geographic location or one's country. There are higher places that you can exist spiritually, in your mind, in your actions, and in the people you associate with, the groups that you're a part of. So I'm not naming particular parties or particular incidents, but I understand whichever side you're on, of whichever political belief system or conviction, even religions, wherever you stand with any of your convictions. I'm going to ask people to think about, well, what are the highest ideals? What are the highest places that you can exist in this life, in our lives? And I've said this before, but I come back to it. Morality is subjective. Morality is not something that you can prove equations, you can write equations for and prove, like Newton's laws of motion or Einstein's equations, which can be verified by very intelligent people, and they come up with the same equations, the same numbers, the same answers, no matter how many times you measure the electric charge on an electron. It's always the same. What is that? Negative 1.6 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. Things like that. Those are universal laws, which always seem to be the same, which can be proved. Morality is not like that. I can't prove that my moral convictions are right. I can't prove that they're any better than yours. And this is because morality is a matter of opinion. I mean, the definition of morality itself, people are going to have their own opinions on that. The definitions of what is good and what is bad, people are going to disagree on that. The definitions of what the word right means and what the word wrong means, people are going to disagree on that. And when you look at all of the different things that we disagree on, from abortion, on gun rights, on whether or not there's a God, uh, even down all the way to what sports team you support. People's idea of what right is and what wrong is different. It's a matter of opinion. It's subjective. So people's judgments about who's right and who's wrong are subjective. If we can recognize the subjectivity of these moral arguments that we get engaged in, that might help us to back away a little bit and just sort of say, oh, okay, let's take a deep breath and realize that maybe our opinion is no better than other people's opinions. When we judge somebody, there are three steps to that judgment. There is the judging of the reality, there's the judging of the morality, and then what do we do about it? And that whole judging of the reality is problematic because a lot of people are not seeing reality clearly. People can be easily misled. People believe disinformation, misinformation. And the idea of proving things is beyond a lot of people. We're a belief-based species. People's beliefs are more important to them than being able to prove what is real or not. And that's what beliefs are. Beliefs are things that haven't been proved. That's why we call them beliefs instead of knowledge or facts. And so this whole judging of reality, we're not very good at it. If we see something firsthand, like, oh, there's a squirrel, proved, I've just seen it. Okay. If you see a UFO or the Loch Ness Monster or whatever you see, oh, I've seen it. It's proved to me. I know it's real. Okay. But if you hear somebody else talking about something or you watch something on the news, then a lot of people are believing information that isn't true. So we're not so good at judging reality. But then there's the judging of morality, which I've just said is subjective. So, we all automatically make these judgments about people all the time. But who's to say we're right? Everybody seems to be absolutely certain that they are right about everything, even when they're disagreeing with lots of other people, and even when they weren't there and they don't know what happened. But then there's, regardless of our judgments, which are all sitting on shaky ground, then we get to the, well, what do we do about it? And that's where everything sort of collapses, because what people are doing is hating and attacking physically, also attacking verbally, attacking in comments, in posts, then going out and attacking people in real life. And there's just so much violence. And, the human side of me, I am partly human, the human side of me, when I see a news story, like somebody's got shot, that sort of thing, when I see news stories, and then the human side of me looks and says, well, what were their beliefs? Why did they get shot? And I will either feel more sorry for them or less sorry for them, or I will be more upset or less upset depending on their beliefs. But that's not very wise. That's a human side of me that I try and suppress, that I try and rise above. And when I see when I start to judge something, an act, a situation, a political belief, a religious belief, then I really try to behave with a little bit of galactic wisdom. And what my personal sense of morality tells me is that rather than, well, you've got to decide what is the principle upon which you're basing your judgments. If you're basing your judgments on based on one political party being right, well, then you're going to get into conflict. You're going to get into um, uh, violent situations, aggressive conversations. If you say, if your moral standpoint, if you base your sense of morality on my country is right, same thing. My religion is right, same thing. Um, what do we? What is our ideal? What is our moral principle upon which everything sits? We can. I'm going to tell you what my moral principle is, and that is putting peace above everything else. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I put peace above everything else. I have opinions, I have convictions, I have political leanings, I have no religious beliefs at all. But none of that gets in the way of me putting peace first. So no matter what happens, no matter what I'm faced with, I always put peace above everything else. And I always try and promote peace. What I don't do is start arguing with people, getting into um, arguments and violent exchanges with people. I don't do that. That's contributing in a negative way to the world, to the earth, to my spirit, to my mind. And so one thing that is very clear in this world is you can't hate people into changing their beliefs. You can't attack people into changing their beliefs. You can't attack people into agreeing with your side or your opinions. The way to change people's minds, if that's what you want to try to do, is to lead by example, to show a peace. Well, I think a peaceful way is the best way. And however you choose to lead, whatever example you choose to set, people may say, oh, I like that, or oh, I don't like that. And they will either follow you or they won't follow you. So my response to all the violence, all of the hatred, all of the conflict is let's put peace above everything else. Let's um, let's not allow politics to be more important than peace. Let's not allow religion to be more important than peace. If you put anything above peace, then you won't get peace. So that's my take on dealing with situations in the world. Now it's very hard because the world is kind of spiraling out of control, and we all want to try to help the world to spiral in a direction that we would like. But as individuals, the only real power we have to do that is when we vote, and we can't. It's very hard to change the world just in our everyday lives, in our social media comments. But what we can do is we can set an example for other people to follow. We can live our lives in a way that we are defining our space. If our country is not going in the direction you want it to be going in, or the world, then okay, take a step back from that, because you create your little environment around you, and you can make that little environment around you your little country, your little world, and you can be who you want to be in that little world. and you can invite people in to participate in your little world with your set of rules or convictions, and people will like it and they'll stay, or they won't like it and they'll leave. And what and that's what I do. So I have a group which is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place of people. We meet online and we meet in person, and it's a place that I have created. And if people like my creation, they stay, and if people don't like my creation, they leave. And I don't force anything upon anybody. It's if people like my convictions, they stay. If they don't, they leave. And um, this is something that you could do if you wanted to. Decide what you want your little world to be and create it and be yourself the way you would like people in your world to be. Um, I I have a moral vision, and I've said this before many times. My moral vision is universal peace, universal love, universal well-being. And I have a little group, and people who are in that group, they like my vision, and we therefore are a very peaceful, loving group that support each other's well-being to the best of our abilities. We're a group that everybody is automatically friends, and we're nice to each other. Um, and yeah, my vision is universal peace. That's putting peace above everything else. The universal part means all conscious beings, all conscious beings. And that includes humans. It includes all humans. Now, within my group, there are people on both sides of the political spectrum, and we figure out fairly soon who's on which side of the political spectrum. Not because we were asking or probing, just you get to know people. But we're all friends. We're all friends because we put peace above everything else. Peace and friendship. Now, there does seem to be the longer people are in my group, sort of a waking up of people whose beliefs about reality, whether it's political beliefs or scientific beliefs, religious beliefs, there is kind of a waking up that goes on because I try and teach people, expose people to reality and facts. I am a space scientist, and so I like facts. I like things that can be proved, and I prove a lot of things in my group. And what I find is that there is a movement from one set of political beliefs slowly towards the other set of political beliefs. There is a movement away from one set of religious beliefs, a little bit towards, my religious convictions. But I'm not forcing anybody. There's no imposition. I'm just exposing people to my perspectives, and people are changing because they want to change, because they see things they didn't see before. That's the way to change people, is to I know I'm not the only person who says this on this network, but be the change you want to see in the world. And if you do that, then if people like it, they will join you. If people don't like it, they won't. And so that's universal peace. Now, I'm afraid I'm a bit controversial in a peaceful way. because universal also means, um, well, any conscious being. So it also includes animals who are conscious. Consciousness lies in our biological and our spiritual brains. That's where the structure of our consciousness is housed. Consciousness is a structure. It requires form in some kind of medium, and the medium is neurons or neural pathways, biologically and spiritually. That's where our consciousness is. And we're not the only ones with brains. Uh, Mammals, vertebrates, which are 5 classes of vertebrate: mammal, bird, fish, reptile, amphibian. They all have brains. And some, a lot of those other vertebrate species are far more peaceful than we are. They seem to enjoy life far more than a lot of humans do. Um, but yeah, they are conscious. If you've got any pets, you'll know that they're conscious. They're aware of their environment. Um, and so universal peace means extending peace to animal species too. Okay, so a lot of people like the idea of universal peace, but then when I say, but we've got to be nice to animals, it's like, be nice to animals? You mean, what about that burger or that El Pollo Loco or whatever it is? And, I don't judge others, but being responsible for killing and eating conscious beings who don't want to be killed, that would be morally wrong, in my subjective opinion. It's certainly not consistent with universal peace. It's also not consistent with trying to stop climate change, because the meat and the dairy industry is one of the two main industries that is responsible for climate change. So universal peace, and then you have universal love. Can you imagine everybody, all conscious beings, loving each other? That's kind of hard. And to be honest, it might be too hard. My vision might be too hard for some people. And I'm actually considering whether or not I should change the universal love in my vision to universal caring. Because loving is something you do from your heart, that you feel. And it's hard to love some people on this planet as a feeling. But intellectually deciding to care, that's a little bit easier for a lot of people. You can care about the well-being of something, and that can be a choice to care about them. So imagine caring for everybody, even though we may dislike some of the people that we're deciding to care about. So, there's this phrase, unconditional love. Unconditional love. That means you don't place a condition upon loving anyone. You just love them because they're a conscious being. That's a bit tough for people. But that's part of my vision, to love people, to love all conscious beings unconditionally. We could all love each other unconditionally. And I'm not talking about romantic love necessarily. I'm talking about like the love for a friend, the love for somebody that's in your group, your family member, that sort of a love. If we could care about everybody, even when it's hard, then that would help. And the final thing about in that vision: universal peace, universal love, universal well-being. Well-being is the currency of morality. Well-being is the thing that gets affected when we're being moral to others or we're not being moral to others. If we attack somebody, we're trying to diminish their well-being. It could be physical well-being, emotional, mental, or even spiritual well-being. It could be to the just a small amount that we want to make them unhappy. It could be a big amount that some people don't want them alive. We take away their physical well-being by taking away their lives. Well-being is the quantity of morality, the currency of morality. And so the idea of universal well-being, where we try to protect the well-being of everyone, that's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp, but it is a peaceful one. It is a peaceful concept. Now, when we're making all these judgments and we're deciding, oh, should we be happy about that death or not? Should we be happy about this political thing going on or not, or this religious thing, or this thing in the news? Should I be happy or not about it? It can be a little bit hard to figure out where are the lines that we're drawing. Why are we promoting or supporting violence in one place and not in another place? That, it's easier to be like me, an extremist, and just say violence. No, I'm an extremist because I'm going to be extremely peaceful. That's where my extremism is. I'm going to be extremely peaceful. I am going to be peaceful towards everybody. I'm not going to attack people over what they say, what they believe, what they think, even what they do. Now, if somebody comes at me to attack me, I am a black belt in karate, and I'm going to defend myself because it's not, to me, it's not supporting the idea of peace to let somebody be violent against you, to let them beat you up. But other than imminent attack and preventing, in reasonable self-defense against immediate attack, I'm a very peaceful person, and I choose peace every time. And I could keep talking and talking and talking, but I've given a title for today's show: Global Peace Meditation. And whether or not you agree with the things that I've said, I'm going to invite you to put aside our differences. There is nobody in the world who isn't invited to participate in this peace meditation. If the most evil people in the world said, "Hey, Rupert, would you do a peace meditation with me?" I would, because that's a step in the right direction. So no matter who you are who's listening to me podcasting now, no matter which country you're in, no matter your ethnic background, your orientations, your identities, your political or religious convictions, I invite us all now to put aside our differences and to unite in the most important way that we can unite, and that is in peace. So let's do a meditation in which we try and connect with each other. Peace and love, very, very similar. So I'm going to throw in some peace, some spiritual love into the mix. And I'm going to guide people in the meditation. I invite you to participate. And if you choose, if you're not comfortable with any of my suggestions, then that's okay. Just don't participate spiritually or meditatively in those things that you're not comfortable with. So I'm going to invite everybody to get yourselves into comfortable positions. Sitting or lying, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to invite you to silence your phones so that we're not disturbed during this meditation. And we're going to close our eyes. We're going to relax our bodies. And we're going to consciously let go of the tensions within our bodies. I'd like everybody to focus on your feet and feel your feet relaxing. I'd like everybody to Focus on your legs and consciously let go of any tensions in the muscles in your legs. We relax them. We relax our tummy muscles. We imagine any tensions that are in our backs slowly draining out of our bodies. We feel all of the muscles in our torsos disengage. Feel our shoulders relax, our necks and our neck muscles. Take your minds to your arms and let your arms relax. All the way down to our hands and our fingers. We feel our hands and fingers let go of any tensions that they have. Finally, we move our attention to our heads. If our foreheads are tense or furrowed, we unfurrow them. We let go of tensions there. We relax our jaws, our cheeks, our eyes. We let go of all the tensions that surround our eyes. Our eyeballs are actually surrounded by a lot of muscle. And if you can feel any tension in those muscles, just let go of those tensions. So we feel our entire bodies are nice and relaxed. We feel relaxed from the tip of our toes, all the way up to the top of our heads, all the way out to the tips of our fingers. We're not just biological bodies, we are spiritual beings with spiritual bodies. And so let us start to tune into our spirits. Our spiritual bodies flow smoothly through our biological bodies. Every single biological component of our biological bodies has a corresponding spiritual component. So in our minds, we can imagine having spiritual hands, spiritual feet, even spiritual organs. And we take hold of our spiritual currents and flow them more smoothly through our bodies. We can picture our spirits as being like bright, flowing, plasmic beings, bodies. We take hold of those spirits and we flow our spirits smoothly through all parts of our bodies, washing away any darknesses from within us, pushing through any blockages, soothing aches and pains, releasing, rejecting discomfort or pain. And we brighten ourselves. We absorb into our spirits from the surrounding spiritual atmosphere. Spiritual essence known as Karita and the spiritual energy that it holds. We picture it entering our bodies like a bright, warm flow of spiritual current, luminous, plasmic, beautiful. And we see that our spirits are not just confined to our biological bodies, they're ultra-dimensional, extending out from our three-dimensional bodies, outwards into higher dimensional spaces, like beautiful auras reaching out and connecting with our environment. We connect with the air, with the walls of the buildings or the vehicles we're in. We connect down spiritually with the ground. We connect outwards with the universe. And we are going to base this meditation on peace and love. We have all experienced times in our lives when we have felt love from others. We know how special that feels. And we know to give that love to others is such an amazing, wonderful gift. Can you imagine if you could feel that love from everybody, from all conscious beings, including humans and animals and spirits in the spirit realm and non-human entities around the universe? Feel in your heart how wonderful that would make you feel. Feel the love within you now that you would like to share with others. Feel the love that you would like to share with all of the people who are listening to my voice, with all of the people in KGRA, with all of the people around this planet. Feel that love inside you growing stronger and stronger. And it may not be fair if we share this love with others and they don't share it back. But everybody who's listening to me now, we can share love with each other now. We can care about each other. We can put aside our differences. We can share our spiritual love and our caring and our peace with people irrespective of their gender, their age, their appearance, their abilities, their finances, their politics, their religious or spiritual beliefs. If we cannot do this, if we cannot put peace first, even when we disagree with people and their ways and their opinions and their actions, then we will never have peace. So let us feel that love within us now, growing brighter and stronger, brighter until our hearts start to shine outwards into the universe. Let us picture sending beams or rays of light, of love light, to everybody who can hear my voice. If you feel it's appropriate to me, let's send some of our love to Bill, our producer. A really wonderful man, really caring, with impeccable morals and a wonderful curiosity and investigative side to him, so that he loves doing what he's doing and sharing all of this knowledge with the world. Knowledge is valuable. Knowledge supports morality and peace. Let us shine our love to each and every person who is tuning in, listening to this podcast now. Whatever country they're in around the world, picture our rays of light shining to them, touching them, and sending them peace and love. Some people are going to be watching this podcast in the future as a recording. Let us send our beams of light and love through time into the future to connect with those people, everybody who will hear my voice. And everybody who is in the future listening to the recording of this, send your love into the past to connect with everybody who's listening live. Let us form an international, trans-temporal multifaceted jewel of love, community of light right now in the universe. If anybody feels comfortable with this, then we're going to shine our love further afield, outwards, to connect with spirits in the spiritual realm. If we think of individuals in the spiritual realm whom we'd like to send love to, when we think of them, they can feel that, they know that that connection has been made, and they will understand and know that you're sending them love, and they will very likely send it back to you. They will very likely come and be with you, and as I'm saying this, somebody has just arrived right here with me. I can feel it. I was visited just a couple of days ago by a young lady whom I knew, who was very sadly, her life was taken in a violent act. And we send love to anybody that we've lost in any situation. We can connect with spirits, and we invite them to join in with us now in this universal or global love and peace meditation. We feel comfortable with it. We shine our love light outwards to all non-human entities. I send my love to our Arcturian friends, Sashki, Rimitoid, and Helmiad. We send our love to our Pleiadian friends, whose names we haven't quite figured out yet. We're non-discriminatory, and we send our love to beings that some people have hate for, but they don't know truths. I know some of these beings to be good people. I send my love and peaceful intent towards my reptilian friends, Ukod, Shishashar, and Shishashar. I send my love light, and I invite you to join me in doing so as we shine our light to the Galactic Council. We shine our love light down into the ground to our friends whose name we don't know, but we refer to them as goblins. They're peaceful, and they're suffering because of humans' violence. We send them love, and we wish them and their children well. We send love to our mantis being friends and our Antian friends. We send love to our Eben friends, especially those two Ebens who've given themselves the names Jean-Luc and Diana. We send love and light to you. We send love and light to all non-human beings who are out there, and we invite you to join us now in peace. We now have quite a large group of human spirits and non-human spirits, and living humans and living non-humans, all together participating in this. For anybody that feels comfortable with it, open up your spirit arms, step forwards and participate in a large group hug. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could be like dogs greeting each other, how excited they are and how wonderful it is to meet new people. And here we are with some people we know and with some strangers, just being peaceful and loving unconditionally. If you feel comfortable with it, allow your love to flow physically, convecting from us to them through the group on this group hug. And we can imagine a future in which we become a collective. And if you feel comfortable with this, let yourself become everybody for just a few seconds. Let your consciousness blend and merge so that we become a peaceful, loving collective, unified in peace. And we withdraw our spirits away from this group, and we, in our minds, repeat the following words if you feel comfortable with them. We wish you all peace. We place peace above all other considerations. Peace comes first, everything else can follow on afterwards. And we peacefully request friendship with all of you. And we ask that next time we're confronted with annoying people, hateful people, we're strong enough to take the peaceful route. And we request this in general of the universe. We request it in general of any beings who are able to offer us strength or support. But mostly we request it of ourselves, because we do have free will, and we can choose to respond to hatred and violence with peacefulness and with wisdom, or with violence and aggression, hostility and pain. Let us decide now to push out all hatred from within us. Let this love that we feel now shine brightly and fill our beings so we become entirely beings of light. And we ascend right now to the highest level possible. And we imagine being in harmony with all conscious beings. We imagine being in peaceful harmony with the entire universe. We withdraw our spirit into our own biological bodies. We draw in and center our spiritual hearts where our biological hearts are. We absorb into our biological hands and feet, our spiritual hands and feet. We don't allow our spirit to be drifting around out there in the universe, connecting with other beings and other people right now. That can leave us feeling a little bit lightheaded. We pull ourselves back fully to our own bodies now. We hear the sounds around us in our local environments. We feel the temperature of the air upon our skin. We feel the touch of our clothes. We feel the weight of our bodies pushing down on our chairs or beds or floors. We know that we have returned fully to the physical realm. And we hold on to a sense of harmony between our physical bodies and our spiritual bodies. And our spiritual bodies remain ultra-dimensional, connecting outwards. And any time we feel like we would like to feel peace and harmony and love, then we know where to come, back into our own meditative states or back into connecting peacefully with others. When we're ready, our eyes may open. We can come out of the meditation. It is not possible for us to be fully in harmony with the universe because parts of the universe will not be in harmony with us. But it is possible for us in ourselves to be in harmony. And it is possible for us to interact with the universe, no matter how disharmonious it is possible for us to be harmonious with it, to be peaceful, to be loving, to be kind to everybody. And that's what I wish upon you. If you would like to join me in a few hours, 11 o'clock, Culver City, the trailhead to the Culver City stairs, then just be there at 11 o'clock. Hopefully I'll be there on time. If I'm a minute or two late, wait for me. I'll be rushing, but I should be there on time. I may even be there an hour early, who knows. If you would like to participate in more of my meditations, then please join my Patreon group at patreon.com/alien contact. There is a free membership option there, so you can join for free and watch my videos and participate in some of my free events. But if you like what I'm doing and you want to become part of my community, my group, my loving little world, then please join one of my tiers. I hope you will have a wonderful rest of your day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, or night. And I wish you all peace, love, and well-being. Take care, everybody. Goodbye for now.